How come we're just finding out now when they've been working on this for over almost 2 months?
They must have known something, and it should have been brought to the people.
What was once the home to nearly 250 Winnipeg residents, Birchwood Terrace now sits vacant after a recent inspection discovered severe deterioration to several locations, creating a nightmare scenario for the residents of this 62-year-old building, not knowing when, if at all, they'll be able to return to their homes.
I kept saying to Mom, I was like, when are we going to wake up from this nightmare?
Cheyenne Carrier and her mother Mala were one of the countless families left scrambling last Thursday night after being told they needed to be out by 8 a.m. Friday, after 16 of the complex's 18 basement column supports were discovered in a severe state of deterioration.
To hear about it all of a sudden and that where we have been living for the last 2 years is unsafe, that's not fair.
In the meantime, Mala and Cheyenne have moved in with her older daughter, who has a 2-bedroom apartment, but also has 2 kids of her own. A less than ideal situation for the devoted single mother.
And I'm proud of myself to look after my children. And I feel like I'm failing because I can't do that right now.
Only adding to their frustration was a perceived lack of empathy during Friday's emergency meeting, highlighted by a poor choice of words from Derek Mizak, president of engineering firm Crozier-Kilgore.
If you're going to talk over me, I don't mind going home.
At least you have a home.
That's all I got out of that rushed emergency meeting that they gave us was, yeah, this is what you're getting. Then we're washing our hands of it.
Eric Booker and his wife had called Birchwood Terrace home for the past 7 years, but are now separated from all of their belongings.
I left thousands and thousands of dollars worth of furniture, electronics, that, like TVs and stuff, and a coffee table that was very sentimental to my wife because it was built for our wedding 32 years ago by her grandfather, who's passed away, obviously.
For Booker, amongst all the questions that remain unanswered, the one that bothers him the most is if this could happen here, what does that mean for the rest of the buildings owned by Ladco?
I noticed a lot of the buildings are of similar age. So what's the structural support like in those buildings that are owned by this company? Have they been inspected properly?
City News reached out to the owner of the building, but our calls were not returned. In Winnipeg, Kurt Black, City News.